The lie of financial freedom. The lie is everywhere. You hear it in commercials, you read it in brochures, you see it in the way men around you nod their heads as if it's gospel. Work hard, keep your head down, save a little every month, and one day you'll retire rich. One day you'll be free. The picture is always the same. A man in his 60s, smiling on a beach, drink in hand, gray hair glowing under the sun. The promise is simple. Suffer now. Wait 40 years. Collect your prize at the end. But here's the brutal truth. That dream is a mirage. For most men, it never comes. The beach, the freedom, the wealth, it isn't waiting. What's waiting is debt, regret, poor health, and the realization that the system lied. This is the scroll's destiny: to obey, to grind, to die, broke and forgotten. The Centurion refuses. He tears the blindfold off. He sees the lie for what it is, and he builds freedom on his own terms, through pain, through discipline, through action today, not someday. The mirage of retirement, he sits at his desk late at night. The only light comes from the glow of his computer screen. His retirement account is open. Numbers sit in neat rows. The total looks impressive at first glance. Tens of thousands saved, maybe even 100,000. But he runs the math. He divides the number by his monthly expenses. He adjusts for inflation. He imagines medical bills, housing costs, car repairs, emergencies. And the truth hits him like a fist. The money isn't enough. It will never be enough. The brochures promised freedom. The financial advisor told him to just keep contributing. But the reality is brutal. Even if the markets cooperate, even if no disaster strikes, even if he keeps grinding for another 20 years, he will barely scrape by. And that's if everything goes right. What happens if he loses his job? What happens if the market crashes again, like it did in 2008? What happens if his health fails before retirement ever arrives? The mirage fades. The truth emerges. The promise was a lie. The consumer trap, he remembers the first big purchase. A brand new car, gleaming in the sun, financed over 6 years. He felt powerful driving it off the lot. The leather seats still smelling new. Friends congratulated him. Strangers looked at him differently. Then came the house, bigger than he needed, but it looked good from the street. Then came the vacations, the credit card swipes for clothes, gadgets, restaurants. Each purchase felt like success. Each one fed the illusion. But each one was a chain, every loan a shackle, every monthly payment a link pulling tighter around his throat. Debt is not just financial, it's psychological. It trains men to obey, to keep working, to keep grinding, to keep chasing the next paycheck. It whispers, don't quit, don't risk, don't build something of your own. You need us. You belong to us. Scrolls call this living. They post photos online of their cars, their trips, their toys. They show off the chains that enslave them. Centurions call it what it is, slavery dressed as freedom. The illusion of someday. He talks to his coworkers. They laugh about hating their jobs, about barely making it to Friday. They all tell the same story. Just a few more years. Just a few more decades. Then we'll retire and enjoy life. But most of them won't make it. Some will die before 65. Some will get sick. Some will lose their jobs. Some will limp into retirement with nothing but social security and regret. The illusion of someday keeps them docile. It keeps them grinding. It keeps them from questioning. Scrolls believe someday will save them. Centurions know someday is a myth. NASA math. Wrong trajectory. NASA understands trajectory. If a rocket is launched 1 degree off course, it won't reach its destination. No matter how powerful the engines, no matter how long it flies, it will miss the target. The lie of financial freedom is the same. If you start with the wrong plan, consumer debt, blind retirement savings, living paycheck to paycheck, you will miss freedom. You will spend your life burning fuel and still end up lost. The inevitability is this: wrong trajectory plus blind obedience, ill-missed target. Scrolls never adjust. They keep flying toward the wrong horizon until they burn out. Centurions correct mid-flight. They see the error, fire thrusters, change direction, and chart their own course. The collapse of the illusion. Picture him at 60. His body is worn from decades of labor. His back aches, his hands are stiff, his eyes are tired. He logs into his retirement account one more time, hoping for comfort. The number is there, but it is smaller than promised. Inflation has eaten it. Medical bills loom. The house needs repairs. His children still need help. This is not freedom. This is prison. The brochures never showed this. The system never warned him. He gave his best years to the grind, and the freedom never arrived. This is the scroll's fate, a wasted life traded for a lie. The Centurions, fixed Centurions, know that financial freedom is not waiting at the end of a 40-year grind. It is built daily, through discipline and sacrifice. The Centurion does 3 things differently. Cuts ruthlessly. He kills every expense that drains life. He drives an older car. He lives in a modest place. He refuses to pay for appearances, builds income streams. He doesn't rely on one paycheck. He hustles. He invests in skills. He builds side businesses. He creates. Controls cash flow. He tracks every dollar. Every expense is logged. Every income is planned. Money is not a mystery, it is a weapon. Scrolls laugh. They call it sacrifice. They call it boring. They say, live a little. But Centurions understand, this is living. This is freedom. The ritual of cash flow control. The Centurion sits with a notebook at a simple table. Income on one side, expenses on the other. Nothing is ignored. Nothing is excused. Every dollar is a soldier. Each one has a mission. Each one is deployed with purpose. None are wasted. The ritual is simple, but it is sacred. Scrolls avoid it. They fear the numbers. They fear the truth. They prefer the illusion. Centurions embrace it. They face the mirror. They take control. Building freedom early, he doesn't wait for 65. He doesn't wait for someday. He builds now. He learns skills that create income today. He invests not in promises, but in control. He sells what he doesn't need, cuts what doesn't serve, and funnels every resource into building a base of stability. From there he grows. Slowly, steadily, relentlessly. Scrolls waste decades waiting for freedom. Centurions fight for it daily. The transformation. The man who once believed the brochures now lives differently. His car is older, but it is his. His house is smaller, but it is paid for. His expenses are lean, his savings growing, his mind sharp. He doesn't dream of someday. He lives with control today. The scroll sees sacrifice. The Centurion feels freedom. The Brotherhood Hammermen, this is your warning. The lie of financial freedom is everywhere. It is killing you. Scrolls believe the brochure. They wait for someday. They die with nothing. Centurions see the lie, face the math, and build their own path. Stop chasing the mirage. Build the reality. Join OLP 365 or keep pretending silence is strength until it leaves you with nothing. The Centurion gathers a group of men around a flickering campfire, the warmth contrasting with the chill of reality outside. This is our moment, he says, his voice steady, igniting a spark of determination in their eyes. We've all been sold the same lie, but we don't have to live it anymore. A new path awaits us. Each man nods, understanding the weight of what's been lost, the burdens they've carried for too long, and the fight that lies ahead. The air hums with unspoken promise, a brotherhood forged in shared struggle and the resolve to reclaim their destinies. Tonight, we stand as Centurions, he continues, looking each man in the eye. We will dismantle the illusions that have kept us chained. To do this, we must first confront our fears. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, and fear of taking risks that could lead us to freedom. The men lean closer, entranced, as he lays out a vision of their new reality. A roadmap where control replaces chaos and courage becomes their compass. Each word resonates deep within them, shifting mindsets and unraveling the deceptive threads of the past. And that's not all, he adds, voice rising with conviction. We must also embrace the discomfort that comes with change. Growth demands it. Each sacrifice we make today builds the foundation for tomorrow's freedom. The flickering flames cast shadows on their faces, transforming doubt into determination. Purge the unnecessary, he instructs firmly. Every expense that doesn't serve your purpose is a reminder of the illusion we're escaping. Let's cut the fat and focus on what truly matters. The men exchange looks of resolve, imagining their lives stripped down to essentials, each decision calibrated for their collective liberation. The Centurion pauses, allowing the fire's crackle to fill the silence. Share your burdens with the group, he urges, his tone softening. Speaking the truth about our financial struggles lifts the weight off our shoulders. We are not alone in this fight. One man steps forward, vulnerability etched across his face. I'm suffocating under credit card debt, he admits, his voice shaky. I thought it was a sign of success, but it only chains me further. Murmurs of empathy resonate among the others, each one recognizing pieces of their own stories. Another man follows, revealing the pressures of keeping up with societal expectations that drain his resources. "I felt I had to impress others, but at what cost?" he asks, his frustration palpable. The Centurion nods, encouraging this cathartic sharing. "These are the lies we need to dismantle together." As the men open up, a powerful bond forms, solidifying their commitment to change. "Tonight marks the beginning of our transformation," the Centurion proclaims, his gaze sweeping across the circle of men. "We will establish a plan, a battle strategy for each of you. Each step forward will take us closer to breaking free from the chains of debt and regret." He takes a deep breath, tapping into the fire's energy. "First, I want each of you to set specific, measurable goals for your financial freedom. What does that look like for you? Is it a debt-free life? Is it owning your home outright? It starts here and now with clarity." He watches as the men contemplate their futures, firelight illuminating their faces with renewed purpose. They begin to share their aspirations, their voices growing stronger, more assured. One man declares, "I want to own a small business and create my own income, not rely on a paycheck." Another adds, "I want to save for my children's education, to give them opportunities I didn't have." Their dreams fill the air like sparks, igniting further conversation and excitement as the Centurion reinforces their vision. "Great. Now let's break down those goals into actionable steps. What do you need to do to start this momentum?" The discussions flourish, ideas bouncing between them, each man feeling lighter in spirit and purpose. Each shared plan strengthens their resolve, morphing hopeful aspirations into concrete blueprints for the lives they want to live. The campfire crackles, echoing with the promise of change as they embark on their shared journey toward true financial independence. With the fire casting flickering shadows on their determined faces, the Centurion gathers their ideas, looking at each man with unwavering focus. "Remember, brothers, each step we take is a testament to our commitment," he emphasizes, his voice ringing with authority. "We're forging this path together, reshaping our destinies. Stay honest about your progress. Share victories and setbacks alike, for we hold each other accountable." A young man nods vigorously, eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "I'll cut my expenses in half this month. I'm ready to make sacrifices," asserts another, reigniting the energy around the circle. Encouragement and camaraderie swell as they begin to list practical steps one by one, manifesting their vision into reality, building something that no brochure can ever promise. "And no matter how challenging it gets," the Centurion reminds them, "always focus on the freedom that awaits." The flames dance higher in agreement, wrapping their aspirations in warmth. The brotherhood deepens, and each man understands that together they are unstoppable. As they immerse themselves in the plan, the Centurion watches each man's expressions transform from uncertainty to determination. "Now let's talk about accountability," he states, his tone firm yet encouraging. "We'll check in regularly, every week or two, so we can share our progress, support each other, and ensure we're staying on track. It's not enough to just set goals. We need to act." The men nod in agreement, their faces lighting up with a sense of shared responsibility. "We'll form pairs," he suggests. "Partners who can push and challenge one another, sharing strategies and celebrating wins. You'll be each other's strength." Enthusiastic chatter erupts as they consider the value of working alongside someone else. They grasp the concept of mutual support, realizing that the journey to freedom is easier when tackled together. "Together we will drive each other forward," he declares, invigorated by their camaraderie. "No one left behind. As Centurions, we thrive collectively." "Now that we have our goals and accountability measures in place," the Centurion continues, his eyes gleaming with purpose, "let's address the next crucial element: knowledge. We must educate ourselves on personal finance, investment strategies, and economic principles. Understanding these concepts is what differentiates a scroll from a Centurion." The men look intrigued, eager to learn how information can empower them. "Dive into books, attend workshops, and seek mentors who have walked this path," he instructs, his confidence infectious. "Knowledge is an asset, and the more we know, the more control we have over our financial destinies." One man raises his hand. "What's a good starting point?" he inquires. "Great question," the Centurion replies with enthusiasm. "Let's compile a reading list and share resources that have helped us succeed." A wave of excitement ripples through the group as they realize the depth of their new journey. Inspired by the Centurions' words, the men open their notebooks, eager to jot down titles and lessons that could reshape their futures. Think about the experiences that have built your financial understanding, the Centurion encourages, pacing the circle with palpable energy. Let's share insights we've learned and the mistakes we've made. Each piece counts. A man recalls, "I remember reading about budgeting techniques that saved my family hundreds." Another adds, "I once attended a seminar on investing. Wish I had taken action then." Their voices intertwine, each sharing victories and hard-earned lessons with newfound enthusiasm, creating a vibrant tapestry of knowledge to guide their collective journey. The campfire crackles, lighting the way as they forge a path of empowerment and financial literacy together. "Let's not forget," the Centurion interjects, his tone shifting to one of gravity, "that managing money also involves understanding the psychological barriers we face." He captures their attention, keen to address the emotions tied to financial decisions. Fear, pride, and insecurity often drive us to make choices that don't lead to our freedom. Acknowledge these feelings. Recognize when they influence your spending. The men nod, absorbing the weight of his words. "You are not alone in this struggle," he reassures them. By sharing these truths, we lessen their power, and together we can forge a new mindset. Who's willing to share an example of a time fear held you back? A moment passes, then a voice breaks the silence. "I hesitated to invest because I was terrified of losing money," one man admits, fighting vulnerability. "That fear kept me stagnant." The Centurion smiles, appreciating this brave honesty. "Excellent. By facing that fear, you've taken the first step toward conquering it." He encourages the group, fostering an atmosphere of openness. "Let's transform every stigma into a source of strength, altering our identities into Centurions as we step boldly into the unknown." The fire blazes brighter as they absorb this shifting perspective, ready to embrace their journey ahead. "Now, brothers," the Centurion says, his intensity building, "we must transform this knowledge into action. Each of you holds the power to rewrite your story, but it requires commitment. Let's take these newfound insights and create a personal action plan." He pauses, scanning their eager faces. "What's the one thing you can implement this week that will bring you closer to your goals?" Silence fills the air, thick with potential. One man speaks up, "I can start tracking my expenses daily, so I'm more aware of where my money goes." Nods of agreement ripple through the group, and others contribute their immediate next steps, bolstering each other's resolution. The Centurion nods, seeing the fire in their eyes. "And remember," he adds, "action without reflection is aimless. At the end of each week, let's meet to review our progress and celebrate our wins, big or small." A wave of excitement pulses through the group, a shared understanding growing stronger with every word. Together, we will hold the vision of freedom close, confronting challenges as they arise and adjusting our sails when needed. The campfire casts flickering shadows, illuminating their fierce determination. In this shared journey, we will not only strive for financial independence, but forge bonds that last a lifetime. As the embers of the fire glow, the Centurion raises his voice. "Tonight is just the beginning. Remember, freedom is not merely a destination, but a lifelong journey. Together, we will dismantle the chains of illusion and build a legacy of strength, resilience, and true wealth for our families." Each man, transformed by this commitment, stands united, ready to face whatever challenges may come their way. The fight for their future starts now.